We're about to take this boat 400 miles across open ocean and alligator-infested canals through the middle of Florida with 3 of my closest buddies who have also never done this trip. Let's get some heat in the motos and hit the water. I've got 2 other guys I need to call. I know this has been their life dream to run from the Bahamas to Florida on a boat. One of them being Chris Fix, who you may know from YouTube. So let's call him right now. And I'm gonna see if he's in without even telling him what we're doing.
Yo.
Hey dude, I have something for you, but I just need to know whether you're gonna be in or you're out, and then I'll tell you what it is.
In or out? All right, I'm in.
All right, now we're gonna call my buddy Will.
This is Deborah. How can I help you?
Hey Deborah, it's Dr. Mitchell. Is Dr. Burnett available? It's an emergency.
Okay, Dr. Mitchell. Hold on one moment, okay?
Okay. All right, we run into our first hiccup already. We just got to the marina to jump on the boat and head over to the house, and it's sitting on jack stands. And the crew's already left for the day. So we just put in a call to hopefully get them out here so that we can pick it up with a forklift and set it in the water so that we can boat over to the house, because the island we're going to isn't accessible by car. They only have golf carts over there. So we have to get this thing into the water in order to go get fuel tonight so that we can leave tomorrow morning. Hopefully this is the only hiccup we have, but I have a feeling we're gonna have a couple more. Okay, boat's in the water, we made it happen. We're gonna go fuel this thing up so that we're ready to rip tomorrow. We got Dad at the helm, but soon he's handing over the reins and we're taking over. He taught me how to boat, that's for sure. We spent a lot of hours on a boat together in our lifetime, haven't we?
We have. You were like 0. Hello.
The legacy lives on with my son and I.
Okay.
So this is the part I've been dreading the most, and this is gonna give us a little bit of taste on what's to come, but we need to fuel up, and right now we only have 109 gallons in the boat, and we need to fuel up completely right now because we're gonna be running all the way to Florida tomorrow morning. We need to make sure we have enough fuel. Once we get to Florida, we can refuel again, but this is gonna be super expensive. Probably the most expensive part of this entire trip is fueling up the boat 2 to 3 times. So I've been dreading this, and we're about to get a little taste of what's to come because this is gonna be our first top off of a few, I believe. So this boat takes 625 gallons of fuel, 3 separate tanks to run those 4 outboards. Let's get this thing filled up. We're gonna start with the starboard tank first. Thank you. You got the hose.
I got hose.
On the way over, we had a notification pop up on the vessel view that there's water in the fuel. So we're gonna go check the fuel water separator, drain it, and then also we need to top off hydraulic fluid for the power steering, and then we'll be ready to rip. Damn, I don't see the fuel water separators in here. Dude, I'm an idiot. Yeah, don't put that in the video.
Yeah. Just shy of 500 is like 482.
482 gallons? Damn. All right, well, we're topped off, ready to rip.
You're supposed to come around to the outer edge, right? And you do like halfway around and then clean it off like that. And you end up with 2 rivers under a bridge, and that's all you gotta do. You can still undo it if the rope gets really tight, but it's also easy to uncleat. You just push this and you're done.
Yeah, so Wiley's our local knowledge captain, and he's gonna show us how and where to run home. I'm most worried about, what's it called, the Abaco Lakes?
Well, you're running the Abaco Sound all
Abaco
the way
Sound.
down and around.
To Freeport.
Okay, all the way to the backside of Freeport.
Yep.
So there's a couple little spots that you have to kind of be careful of.
Okay.
I'm going to put symbols on the chart as a crumb trail for you to follow.
Okay.
So the question is, I don't see a turtle on here. So what symbol would you like to use? I'm going to try to keep it in a straight line because I know you're challenged from right to left. So we want to keep you going in a straight line.
What are you most on guard for?
To be honest with you, there's really nothing. As long as you stay on those straight, relatively straight lines and pay attention.
Yep.
Those straight lines aren't going to take you in through any shallow water or anything you got to worry about.
So the Abaco Sound, how deep is that where we're running to pretty much all the way to Freeport before we
5 foot plus everywhere.
5 foot plus. Oh my gosh.
You may get close to that point there, but it's
Yeah.
not a big deal. So just pin it, go find your next point, click it, and hit go to.
Yeah.
And then as you're going, if you see
keep
it
an eye
go
out.
over something shallow, just move over and come back in.
Okay. Well, that'll be stage 1 of our journey. We got to make it all the way to Lake Okeechobee, and then we'll stay the night there, and then do the rest of the run in the morning. We're hoping to catch some fish though, between here and here.
Well, you can go
Still looking for birds.
Yeah, as you come off of Memory Rock, you can get up on that outside on the edge there and start looking for birds or tuna
yeah.
birds and stuff. Because there'll be tuna up in the pocket in the corner up there. So
Shoo!
you never know
Never know, dude.
what you might find.
All right. Well, let's put the boat away and go get some dinner, right?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right. Let's do this. Official time is 7:27 in the morning. We're off. Nope. Driving it just like driving a lawnmower. 0 turn. You got your 2 sticks right here. Forward, back, left, right. We're starting here at Hopetown, and then we're gonna start cutting northwest here and kind of run basically the intercoastal of the Abacos. You can see these breadcrumbs here from somebody, probably my parents running this before, but we're basically coming all the way to the west side of the Bahamas. We're gonna be coming from here up, over, and then we have to jump across the Atlantic Gulf Stream here to Stuart. Once we reach Stuart, we can go to Lake Okeechobee, which is this big lake in the middle of Florida, and this is where we're gonna be staying the night tonight. Tomorrow, we're gonna be running all the way over to Fort Myers and then up to Sarasota. All in all, about 350 to 400 miles. It's gonna be an absolute rip of 2 days, but I'm kind of curious how much fuel we're gonna burn, because this is a thirsty girl with quad 400 Mercs on the back. We got 1,600 horsepower to work with today, and we got water in the fuel on the starboard inner engine. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that. Today's our only window for weather. We had to leave on Friday because we only have about 5 to 2 knot winds all day, which is incredible on the water. That's probably like, I'll put the conversion here, I don't know it off the top of my head. Our sea conditions are the most important part because we don't want to get slammed around all day long. And right now they're calling for 4-foot seas, but the thing about that is, as an 8-second period, when there's 4-foot seas outside of Sarasota where we live and the period length is only about 4 seconds, that's when you really get beat up. But these longer period wavelengths, it tends to be more of a rolly swell. So we're hoping that we get out there today and it's pretty smooth so we can run like 30, 40 knots. We have to get back to Florida today. It doesn't really matter what the weather's like when we're running through the canals through the middle of Florida. We're not gonna be affected by wave height or wind as much. Wiley was showing me something yesterday. There's this spot we have to cross through. You can see that there's these red cross hatches, and you would think if this was on your chart, that's an area you wouldn't wanna cross through, right? It looks like an emergency, that there could be rocks or very shallow. But Wiley's been through here a ton, and he says you stay up on plane, you should be fine. It's pretty sandy, so we're gonna hit this marker 1741, and then after that we've got about 170, 180 miles until we hit the coast of Florida. But we're gonna be kind of taking our time depending on the wave heights. Hopefully get into some fish, see if we can't catch a saltwater fish and a freshwater fish in the same day. That'd be pretty cool. But it's time to hammer down, try and beat this weather. So we've got phase 1 of the trip done completely. We have traveled all the way through the Abaco Sound, about 130 miles over the last 2.5 hours. But this is the stretch that I'm most worried about, okay? This is between the Bahamas and Stuart, where we're gonna go into the canals in Florida. This is a 60-mile stretch of just open ocean. So we're gonna have the Gulf Stream, the current's gonna be ripping. We got about 3 to 4 foot wave heights. We're doing our pee break, we're getting food in us because it's about to get a lot more rough because we've had an incredibly smooth ride so far. So this is the part I'm looking forward to most about just getting it done. And we've got a little bit of weather out here that's gonna be sitting south of us. It's been moving north to south. So we're gonna hit it, see what happens. Hopefully we can keep up our good pace. Been running about 45 to 50 mile an hour. And I think we're gonna probably have to dial it back to around low 30s, high 20s once we get out there.
Could be a Romeo, tell them boys back up. I ain't going nowhere. I'ma fly that back up. Put it on your story so all your friends see it. Everyone can see it. And we going and going and going. It's a good night.
We're about halfway crossing the Atlantic back to Florida. And I need to switch the fuel tanks. If you remember when I filled up yesterday, we filled the saddle tanks on each side, the port and the starboard side, which hold about 160 each. Looks like we got about 25 gallons left on each side. And then we haven't tapped into our center tank yet, which holds about 250. So we'll probably run all the way to Roland Marina just on that center tank, and we'll be pushing it. But I think that we'll be just fine, not run out of fuel until that way. It'll allow us to get settled at our hotel and get fuel and hang out at the marina, enjoy their tiki bar. Let's get these tanks switched over. Here's the fuel filter, and it's just a matter of turning and opening these valves in order to get into each tank. And I'll do the ones over here. Now we should be good. Now we're running all 4 engines off the center tank. Well, that's phase 2. We have Florida in sight. We're about to go through the channel at Stuart and start ripping the Intercoastal Waterways all the way to Lake Okeechobee. We've got about 60 miles left for today. I'm hoping we don't have to fuel up before we get there. We've got about 200 gallons of fuel. Chris has got the drone up. We're gonna get some shots going into the pass and keep heading westbound and down. Never been through these intercoastal waterways before, so we're using the Garmin chart plotters, and it can be really sketchy because if you fall outside of the channel, you could run aground. So we're trying to be really careful, but also make up for any lost time as we had to slow down coming through that Gulf Stream. Really hoping we don't have to fuel up before we get to Okeechobee, but so far the trip has been pretty smooth sailing. It's been a great day so far. All right, so we've come in to Stuart. We're about right here, and then we need to go all the way to Roland Marina, which is here. So it's about 50, 60 more miles of taking these waterways, this thin canal all the way to Lake Okeechobee. Then we can open her up across Okeechobee, hit Roland, get some fuel, get some dinner, hang out for a bit, and that's phase 3. And then we got the run all the way home tomorrow. So far the trip's been going really smooth. We weren't able to complete a side quest of catching a saltwater fish yet, but you never know. Maybe we'll run into something, probably not, but I know Chris is gonna be bummed. So we're showing in our port tank, we only have 25 gallons. Starboard tank says it's got 80, but I think that one's reading wrong because the starboard 2 engines were running the same as the port. When we came all the way over, we switched it over. We have got 191 on the center and about 60, 70 miles to go. So I think we're gonna be cutting it a little close. By the time we get to the marina where we're staying tonight, they do have fuel. I called them, they said there is no minimum or maximum amount of fuel you can buy, so I'm hoping we can top off when we get there. Okay, so we're pulling up to our first lock of, I believe, about 3 of them we have on this trip. basically how it works is the water on the other side is sitting higher than we are right now. So what you do is you pull in, they close gates behind you, they fill it full of water so it raises your boat up. They open the gates again, and then you can drive off. So we've got a series of these locks we got to get through in order to get to Okeechobee, but they take a long time to fill up and release, and gates open, gates close, get permission. And I haven't done this in probably 15, 20 years. Chris has never done it. Willen's never done it. So we're about to see how this goes. I've heard it takes a while. Oh, it's green. Green means go.
Green means go.
Should I floor it?
Hey guys, what'd they say?
They said mind your own business.
They said tomorrow we're gonna be going in.
All right, how exciting.
See these little hooks here? You
Yeah.
hook up onto those hooks, hold it.
Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna.
actually, there's ropes right here. No, they got ropes. They're connecting ropes. See those ropes?
Yep.
So we'll connect those ropes and pull as we go up.
Wind kind of pushed me to the starboard side. I wouldn't worry about that, dude. Oh, it does look kind of nasty.
All right, man, you good right there. You ain't gotta go no further. Going too far up.
I feel like an absolute amateur right now. He keeps telling us what to do on the radio. Put your life jackets on. Go forward, go backwards. There's like a bunch. I got a tag still on my life jacket. That's for a kid. We look like a Doodle Bop clan. 9,000. Huh?
Your buckles are not even on the right buckle.
Safety first. If you weren't on the edge of your seats during that, I don't know how to entertain you. We got lucky on that second lock. The water levels were the same in the lake as they were in the channel, so all you had to do is open the floodgates and we got right through. Now we've got about a 23-mile ride across Lake Okeechobee to the marina where we're staying tonight. So we're all a little exhausted and ready for some real food. A couple of drinks.
Fried gator.
We should get fried gator.
We should.
All right, let's wrap this up. 20 miles to go. Official time is 3:49. So how many hours is that? We left at 7:30. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 8 hours. 8 hours and 10 minutes on the boat today, guys.
8 hours and 10 minutes?
8 hours and 10 minutes. We made it.
Doesn't feel bad.
Doesn't feel bad at all.
We had real good weather.
All right, I'm killing the Modus.
Bring it on down, Cap. Come on, bring it on down. Bring it to me. You're being on the shirt.
I love this guy. He knows his dock. Rule number 1 at the dock is gotta have a clean boat. So it's all about that dock and boat swag. Right, Chris? Gotta look good.
Gotta look good and also gotta maintain the boat.
Gotta maintain the boat. Gotta look good.
Has to work.
That's right. I'm interested to see how much fuel we burn today. I think it's gonna be a lot. Any guesses on what it's gonna cost to fill up?
I'm gonna guess we 370 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
What is it a gallon here?
470. So I'm thinking around 1,800.
Step by step, I walked 100 miles and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find.
We're on day 2 of our trip. We got about 140 miles to go. We're leaving Roland Marina right now for sunrise, hoping to get back around noon. We weren't able to fill the boat completely last night because it took 3 hours to pump 100 gallons. Realistically, we need about 300 or 400. So we're gonna try and stop somewhere in Fort Myers. And we believe we have a couple more locks we need to get through this morning. So we're trying to catch the first one right at 7 a.m. so that we can have some smooth sailing and make up some good time today. But dang, this is a beautiful morning. Look at this. Doesn't get better than this. Flat waters and no wind.
Hopefully a safe trip.
Hopefully a safe trip. Fin and Tonic, we're to your east requesting an opening.
Direction are you going?
We're westbound and down for Fin and Tonic.
Roger that. Stand by for green light. Have your life vest on. Be prepared to tie up starboard. I'll get to you as soon as I can. I got a couple things I got to take care of, including going up and changing the spillway, so I'll get to you as soon as I can.
Wilco, Fin and Tonic will hold.
Huh? Spillway? Changing the what?
Should probably just go up there and open up the spillway that's on the left side of the dam to allow some water to drain through, I would assume. We all learned something. As you go up on the lock, it takes a lot longer. You would think it's still the same volume of water that's moving in and out of the lock, but my thought is, and maybe someone else knows, but when you fill a lock to go up, you have to do it a lot slower, because if there's boats inside and you have a large influx of water, it could cause a lot of turbulence and push the boats around. But when we were going down, it was probably 10 times as fast. We went down about 7 feet in approximately 10 minutes maybe, but going up, what was it, 4 or 5 feet? Last time it took almost an hour, right?
Yep.
So we're going back downhill towards sea level now. And we've gone about 30 miles this morning over the course of 2 hours, which is really cramping our style, but looks like we don't have another lock for maybe 50 miles or so, right? Yeah. Then we'll spit out at Fort Myers and run the coast up to Sarasota. So let's get cranking.
Good weather.
Yeah, right? I think it's definitely gonna be a little choppy out there. We have 15 knot winds with 3-foot seas with a 4 to 6 second period, I think it is.
From the northwest?
From the northwest, yeah, we're gonna get wet. We're at our final lockety lock of the trip. 84 miles.
Lock to the vessel on the east side arrival point. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Hey Cap, you need to move that vessel out of my approach. I got 2 vessels coming your way. Secondly, is that we are running one lockage to the west, one lockage to the east. We have to let our hydraulic pump cool down for 1 hour. We only have one gate on the west side, so the next lock that's going to go westbound, you'll be number 1 in the queue, will take place at 1100 hours.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Is this an April Fool's joke? Should I say that?
Dude, we better throw an anchor.
Did you copy that, Cap?
Yeah, we copy. We're just all a little bummed.
Franklin lock to the vessel on the east side arrival point. Do you got a copy?
That guy's mean.
Yeah, we got you loud and clear. We got a copy. We're all just a little bummed. That's why I didn't respond right away. Thank you.
Hey, because your radio is coming in very staticky and you sound like you're very far away. Just an FYI.
Thank you for telling me that. No one's told me that yet today. I'll speak louder, clearer for you. Thanks, man.
An hour?
Yeah, Franklin lock to the vessel on the east side. Are you guys going one way or are you guys coming back?
We're going one way.
Okay, then just stand by. 11 o'clock's next lock.
Unreal, dude. All right, well, I guess that really puts a damper in our day. We're gonna have to sit here for an hour.
Oh God. We don't even have.
We had those Jersey Mike stubs that are 3 days old.
You want food poisoning?
One eternity later.
We waited out our hour. Chris went live on Instagram to help keep us entertained. But this is it. This is our last lock, and then we're gonna get some fuel in Gasparilla and finish this ride out. Looks like we have approximately 94 miles to our destination. We're also going to shoot a time lapse of the drone so that you guys can see the water level change. We're looking at probably a 6 to 7 foot drop again.
Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty quick. Although this lock looks a lot longer than the other ones.
It does. It'll be interesting. This lock seems slower in general, so I'm curious if it'll be quick or slow.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Look at how she walk, and you know it's real. No question if she like attention. I gotta give it to her, yeah, you know the deal. I'm a boss, I swipe that for you. Girl, you look good, you top 10, amazing. Spark a new flame, I like that for you. Tell me what you want, I like that too, babe. Yeah, I like that. I do. Grabbing on your left cheek with my right hand. Tight pants, got me feeling the type of way.
Well, it's time to make up for some lost time. We gotta go get fuel. And what do you think, Chris? I think the locks went a lot smoother than we expected them to. We got pretty lucky most of the time.
Agreed.
We didn't know. Do you pull up and ring the bell? Do you come on the radio? Someone told me it's channel 16, but it's actually channel 13. Channel 9 is for bridges, channel 13 is for the locks, and then 16 is obviously Coast Guard common frequency. But learn something new every day. That should be our last one before we head home.
Mission accomplished.
Let's
All
do
the
it.
locks done?
Done. Checked off.
Yo.
Oh, dude, slow down. Slow down. That's weird. It's only the outer. I got that in neutral.
So we lost the port engine?
Yep. Let me see if it'll start.
It's not starting up. You think it's gas? Or?
It's got to be, because we didn't put much fuel in that tank. Let me try and put on the center tanks first and see if it'll start.
Okay. Let me know, I'll try to start her.
All right, hit it.
I got nothing. Try it again?
Yeah, now hit it.
Okay, she started up.
Fuel.
Fuel?
All right, well, let's fill her up with this fuel dock then, since we're right here. We lost our outer port engine, and so we got off plane, figured out that it was just out of fuel, and we look over, and there's a freaking fuel dock.
Right here.
50 yards from when we were at, and we were gonna try and go all the way to Fort Myers, so I guess this is a sign. Yeah. We have to fuel up here, right? Yeah. Hey, what's up, dude?
All good.
Man, we ran out of fuel right here.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be. What's up, brother? Scott Parker.
Good.
You got 2 pumps? We can do 2 at the same time?
1 diesel, 1 gas.
Ah, all right.
Sorry about that.
Is it a decent?
Something's better than nothing.
Oh, we'll take it. Thank you.
Hold on for a second.
How much is your fuel per gallon?
$1.79 or $5.79.
I was gonna say.
I like $1.79 better.
It's $5.79. At Rollins, it was $4.79. All right, well, I guess we're gonna get 320 gallons, so about $1,500 worth of fuel. All good. We're gonna probably take about 300 gallons. That's all right.
Take as much as you want. I got a truck right down the street if you need more.
Okay. We get a discount for buying more than 100. Is it tiered down at all?
At 100.
What up?
We're at 300 with discount.
Okay, so we'll run it up to 300. Cool. Do you got any Dr. Peppers in there by chance?
We are out.
Damn. I'm fiending.
I got a Vespa if you want to take a Vespa and run.
I think we should. Oh, nice. He's burning out the carbon in the carburetor on it, right? Dude, that thing's sweet.
Please be careful. There's only like 50 or 70 of these things in the United States.
Really? It's beautiful.
It's all, when you turn it off, it's all by that. So you just gotta turn it on, wait until it clicks.
Okay.
And then start it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, man.
You need the other one?
Yeah, if you don't mind. I feel like we're on an epic side quest right now.
Yeah. To 7-Eleven. On the Vespas.
7-Eleven on the Vespas. This is a real Vespa. You notice that?
Yeah, it's a legit Vespa.
Do you have your motorcycle endorsement?
Of course not. Do you?
Dang! That thing's sweet too.
Do you collect these?
Yeah. These two I keep here. I got like 8 of them.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Try try and keep.
We'll be really careful.
That one I don't. That's the only one I care about. This one.
Okay.
This is my beater.
You want to be careful.
Yeah, of course.
Where do I take this thing off the kickstand at?
No. Sit on it first. Never
Really?
ridden one of these?
No, I have. It's just been a while. Psych! I got my motorcycle on what?
Just push forward. No brake.
That's
There
it.
you go.
All right.
Bottom one.
All right, you guys ready?
That's quick.
I won't get after it. Oh! That thing's sweet. It rips too.
I like the color.
I know, right? These Harley guys don't have shit on us.
Nah, they're staring us down right now.
They don't want any of this.
No.
Dude, I haven't pooped in 3 days.
Hey, yo, what the
And I'm holding it in until I get home.
Cookies?
Yeah, good call.
Snacks?
They'll get eaten. You got cold cut Sammy's here. Best candy out there for sure. All right, Dr. Pepper's. That was awesome, dude. Talk about a side quest. Little 2-mile rip to 7-Eleven. These are like the real ones too, you know? Like, you know what I really like are the old school Vespas that have a really thin piece of metal right here. You know what I'm talking about, Chris? Like the authentic ones in Italy and stuff.
Yep.
I think they're so
They have a
cool.
little more of like a curve, and this is more shallow, right?
Yeah, it's like just a
thinner.
piece of sheet metal.
Yeah, exactly. The classic.
Yep.
That's okay.
Man, what a nice guy for letting us do that. I mean, run $1,500 in fuel. That was really nice of him.
You guys crashed the Vespas?
No, it went amazing. We're really thankful. That was awesome of you, man. How many gallons did we take on the?
Exactly one, yeah.
That just was bone dry.
Yeah.
That's why we ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Yep, that would make sense. I think if we just filled these saddle tanks, we'll make it all the way home, no problem.
Of course,
Yeah. The center tank, it should have like 80 to 100 gallons left on it. So I'm ready to start cranking out the rest of these miles, man. We've been sitting for like 2 hours.
Slow 10 miles.
It's been a slow 10 miles. Was this our final phase?
This is it.
This is it.
Everything's gone pretty smoothly.
We're going all the way home from here, no stops.
Straight.
Movie, top down in LA. And you switching on your old friends, they just can't relate. Say that you can see right through me, but you're the one who's fake. Baby, I see what you're doing, but that just ain't the way. Now your life is like a movie, top down in LA. And you switching on your old friends, they just can't relate. Say that you can see right through me, but you're the one who's fake. Baby, I see what you're doing, but that just ain't the way.
This is it, guys. We got 3 miles left, and we're all super hyped right now. This is our last no wake zone, and then we're home. We made it with only one issue, and that was running out of fuel, waiting on a lock. Anything else eventful happen? Not really. Pretty smooth sailing. But I just don't understand how people can crank this out in one day if they left early. Like, it's taken us 2 8-hour days to get home.
We left at 7 to 3, so it's 8 hours.
Yeah. And yesterday was a little over 8 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's perfect weather, perfect conditions.
Perfect conditions. I mean, it was blowing. We had to take the Intercoastal up because it was pretty choppy out in the Gulf. And that probably added an extra 45 minutes just because of these no wake zones. But this is it. We're almost home.
Where are you guys boating from? Where are you from? Yeah, Minnesota. We just got back from the Bahamas. Yeah.
She's laughing. She doesn't even believe you, Chris.
For real.
We don't even talk now. Now we really racing. Never wanna run out. Steady underrated. I'm always on the line. Like a movie, top down in LA. And you switching on your old friends, they just can't relate. Say that you can see right through me, but you're the one who's fake.
Been looking forward to this moment. Not really. I kind of want to go back and do it again. You got lines to tie off with back there too, Chris? Oh man, can't wait to touch dirt. We just came from the Bahamas. Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
Oh, I know what we can do to celebrate that we made it back. We can pop a flare. We'll save it for another time. We should have popped one off in the middle of the ocean. I've always wanted to blow one off.
What do you mean by that?
Well, guys, that's it.
We did it. Mission accomplished.
Made it.
Heck yeah.
I think it took about 50% longer than we expected it to. We had 2 full 8-hour days. And how many miles?
400 miles, just $392, I think it was exactly.
But I think we can all agree that it was probably a lot easier than we expected.
It was awesome.
It went too smooth.
Yeah, I absolutely loved every part of it. It was great.
I would feel very comfortable doing that again, without a doubt.
That was a once in a lifetime trip.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. We should do it the other way now, though. We should go to the Bahamas.
Yes.
Doing like a week-long deal where you go on like the Friday, Saturday, you stay for 5 days, and then take the boat back would be epic.
That would
do
be
some
cool.
diving and fishing in between.
That would be awesome.
Spend some time in Okeechobee for some bass.
Yeah, and offshore for some mahi or lobster in or something. Whew. That'd be epic. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoy watching us take a boat 400 miles from the Bahamas back to Florida. We had an epic time. Hope you guys learned something, because we learned a lot, but definitely ready to do it again. That was awesome.
Hey, it's Caroline, Parker's wife. I just wanted to reintroduce myself, as I've been in a few of the videos here and there, but I want to let you guys know I do residential real estate down here in Sarasota and Bradenton, Florida. If you are looking for a vacation home or a home to Airbnb, or you want to move to the Sunshine State full-time, I'm your girl. Anywhere from a house up nearby the track and spend a lot of time at the Freedom Factory, or a house on the water, just let me know. I'll have my information below.